Okay, I have a lot of little overlays. Good evening, the League of Excellent Extraordinary Negroes. We're talking about the nevers today. We're going to talk about some news first. I'm Jade. That's Carla.
Oh, I'm Carla, resident philosopher.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Marcus.
All right. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Talk about a little bit of news. Oh man, I'm not ready. I need more things for all of these things. You don't know what things I'm talking about. Here,
I
this
think you
thing.
want more butt.
Yes.
Okay.
So I had it in my head. I had to do it. So, news today. There's a trailer that dropped for the Eternals. I have seen it already. Everyone else just saw it. So, what is your initial reaction?
They're keeping it close to the vest, or I watched the wrong trailer. I didn't see much. It looks like they spent a lot of money. I can't wait to watch it.
Okay.
I'm uncertain. It looks beautiful. It looks a little bit cultural. It looks like a little cultural appropriation-y. So some things, and some. I'm like, huh, what's going on? But it really is. It's just like, come see this beautiful magical stuff. But I don't know what it's about though. But I'll go see it. Praise the Lord. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think I want to see it in the theater because it looked like it was that type of magical type film. But also, I'm like, so this is the opposite of Doctor Strange. Like we were like, who was messy in that one, and now we're gonna be better with the culture. And I just don't know how I feel about the things. They're trying. I'm sorry. They want our money, and they are determined to get it.
They do want the money. They want all the money.
I'll just write them a check. That's fine. They can have my money. They already have
They
it.
don't.
They just.
They don't have to fight DC for the money because DC don't
No,
want the money. So
they don't. They do not want the money. This so the Eternals were created by the Celestials. So there's a whole world to explore there, and I guess they're gonna go there with all of the people of color.
Hey, I'm not upset about it. I'm ready to watch it.
And Angelina Jolie.
of
I
course,
mean, it's that part. It's that part. Because like,
yeah.
there's all this swag, and then it's just like,
Then it's her.
You got to
Yeah.
get everybody into the theater to make these movies make money. So
Oh my God! Come on,
who
ain't
was
nobody
looking
checking
for
for
Angelina Jolie
Angie.
though?
No,
Ain't nobody
nobody's looking for
checking for
Angelina.
Angie.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Checking for her.
Nobody's looking for Angelina. Mm-mm. Nope. Well,
No. Um,
um,
Okay, hold up though. Like now that I've said it, she was so amazing in Maleficent, y'all. She was so good in that movie. She was great.
I am torn between whether she was great or whether that was just a well-told story. Like the story was told so well.
That was
So I
good
don't.
storytelling. That was
I
good
wasn't
storytelling.
her. I think that story was just pristine. So,
and the costuming was good.
oh,
Makeup
was it
flawless.
beautiful, flawless. It was beautiful, beautiful to look at. Amazing story.
She looks like she's wearing a nice costume in this one.
they gave everybody.
And
a lot
Carlos
to
falls
wear.
out of frame. Oh,
I
I don't don't
that's
know.
why I like us having these conversations, because Carla made me think about the storytelling, and I was giving Angelina all the credit, and like that comment made me think, like, oh, the story was so well done. It was such a
really
twist,
direct.
and it was so well done.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
she good
she's
at
a good enough actor. She's a good enough actor that she
Good enough.
served the piece. She's
Yeah.
a strong enough actor that she didn't fall down on the job. They gave her the good, and she ran with it.
Mhm.
But there are about 10 other actors in Hollywood, female actors, that could have ran with it too, because that story was pristine. And it was amazing. It was beautiful. So
Yeah. Okay. So The Eternals comes out in November. Thumbs up. You gonna go see it?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I wanna see
obviously
it.
we're gonna go see it.
Okay. What's his name from Atlanta is in there? I want to say Tyrese, but I don't want to say Tyrese because it just seems like a black man's name. But his name might actually be Tyrese.
she falls out of frame.
It's 7:09, and I'm like, that's it. Okay.
I don't remember his
No.
name. I don't. But he's in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yes. And he's playing, I forgot what character he's playing, but he's also playing is he pansexual or gay? I don't remember, but that was in the.
That's right.
I don't know.
Because they're excited about having their first LGBTQ character.
Yes.
With Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
Is it Brian Tyree?
Brian Tyree. Thank you.
You were not too far. You were not no. But you know the other thing that I'm waiting for. Here we're gonna go with the black man. Why the black character gotta be the gay character? Oh, let's brace ourselves for the nanigans, because you know it's gonna happen.
That's going to happen.
Because we haven't moved past that piece.
Okay, because we need queer representation.
Because it's as if they don't want that, you know, black to be gay sometimes.
They do.
Okay. One in every 10 per se the statistics. So all I want to know is, can he shoot some fire out of something or blow somebody up with his mind?
It's lightning. It's probably lightning.
Oh my god.
That's what I want to know. Your sexuality. I don't want to know your race. What are your powers?
And are they and because they are Eternals, are they considered superheroes or
gods?
Are they just some mortals?
Right. I think they're considered gods.
Can I ask you a technical question? Because we know I haven't seen Game of the Thrones. Is there a person from Game of the Thrones in this?
There are two.
I recognize one of them.
There are two.
Really?
Robb Stark and Jon Snow.
Yep.
Jon Snow. See, I remember him from the memes. Okay, see? Look at me. Knowing some.
Who those people are.
Yeah.
Marcus? What? You don't know who they are?
No. I need actors.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Oh, that's just, it was not my thing.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Steph cheers.
Marcus is my people.
I got
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
One episode and went, no, it's good. Thanks.
Oh no.
I made it to 3 episodes only because I love Jade. Strictly on love. And I was like,
okay.
I'm gonna watch
right.
Firefly.
You know,
okay. Oh man. Okay, so
you
we're
know,
gonna talk about Firefly.
Everything is not for everybody. And I will not judge you all harshly because you didn't get into Game of Thrones.
No.
I will reserve my judgment for something more important. Like, what are your superpowers?
Okay, see, I can work with that. It's fine. So my question, because we were talking about Game of Thrones, will the Game of Thrones fan base be like, will they lose their mind?
Oh yeah.
If there's a star in this month, like, yes, we're here. We're here for them.
And we've got
Because
two. So yeah.
that acting was amazing. No, it's a really strong cast. I'll say from what I see of this cast.
Yeah.
It's a really good cast. So,
Gemma, I can't think of her last name.
Chan? Looks like
yes,
Chan.
Yes. I love her. I loved her in Humans. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was the only person on the entire planet who watched Humans.
Oh, I love Humans.
no, I know.
I was rewatching Merlin this weekend. I know. It's the main character. He's in Merlin, and I didn't want to go back to Humans. I went back to Merlin. It's okay.
No one's judging.
It's okay.
What are your superpowers?
Anything else happening?
That's it.
Magic. The superpower is magic.
Yeah.
Any other news?
I don't have anything fresh and new.
Nothing that's not depressing, so no.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Question. Are you watching Pluto TV?
No.
I do on occasion because Leverage is on. One of my old shows I like is on Pluto. So
I
hit it
love
on
Leverage.
Also love Leverage.
Leverage was dope.
So
new
that's
episodes
on
out
there. You said what?
Yeah, I believe
Are
Leverage
the new
is on
episodes
Pluto.
out yet?
I don't think so. I don't think the
Okay.
reboot has hit. I think that's the end of the summer or something.
They're gonna reboot it?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same cast.
I think it's the
for
original
most part.
cast too.
I think it's
Oh,
everybody
huh?
except Timothy Hutton.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I miss
Um,
Timothy. I really won't. They were writing him out at the end anyway, so we didn't expect
Right.
that.
Wait a minute. Is Aldous Hodge joining too?
Yeah.
That's all I'm here
I
for.
believe-
Like,
Okay.
answer
Yes.
that part.
All right. Okay. I didn't know that was happening.
His comic
Oh, yeah.
timing is
Fun
so
show.
good.
Okay.
And
well,
it'll be good to see him be a little light because he's been doing real black actor stuff out
Heavy.
in these streets recently.
yeah.
He's been
Mhm.
doing this. I mean, brilliant. He's a brilliant actor. He's one of my favorites. But it'll be good to see him have fun again because that's why I
Yeah.
fell in love with him on Leverage.
Same.
Yeah.
His range is amazing, though.
Oh, he's an actor. He's an actor for real. Like, he's no joke. Real deal.
So Pluto TV has dedicated channels for different genres. And there is a Star Trek channel on Pluto TV. Marcus.
Did you see
I
Marcus's
was not
eyes?
aware of
I
this.
know, I saw it. I saw it.
Like, what? He's like, what?
I'm trying to figure out what Pluto TV is at the same time
So
you're saying
it's a free streaming app. I
Right,
want to say
like
it's
you
connected
have-
to Paramount.
Well, if you have
Almost have to
cable,
be.
like if you have Xfinity or something like that, it's one of the apps. It's a free app with them. That's how I see it.
But you
Through
can
my,
also I have
cable
it
provider.
downloaded. I have the app on my iPad, and I just go to the app and then just watch streaming television. And I can just scroll to different channels. Like I'm actually flipping the channels on the remote control. I just sat there for like 15 minutes just scrolling. Like, wow, I haven't done this in years.
Yeah, Pluto is dope,
Okay.
y'all. If you're not a part of the Pluto life, it is dope. If you got an old show, they have almost all the really good series that 90s series, early aughts, things like that that you like to revisit.
And
Great.
classic TV, like there's a Johnny Carson station. There's a station that just plays westerns.
So could I get rid of my Sundance that I have on Prime and just go to Pluto? Because I've been watching Leverage on Sundance. I got Sundance for the Discovery of Witches show, which was great. That's how I ended up over there. Now I'm over here watching Law & Order UK like a crazy person. You're over here mumbling.
Wait. You're watching Law and Order with the powdered wigs.
Yes. Yes. I got caught up one night. I was like, what? Oh, they got that black woman that goes to press. Y'all better
Yes, yes.
You are my
Martha
queen.
from Doctor Who.
I thought I was the only person. I do Law and Order, period. Whatever, wherever, I'm with it. And I thought it was just me. I was fascinated.
UK was brilliant. It was so well written.
Yeah. I don't typically like those kinds of shows, but I have watched it because Martha from Doctor Who is on Law and Order UK. So I have watched it.
Speaking of Doctor Who, I'm sorry. I was about to be real petty about the Nevers. Sorry.
We are 15 minutes
haven't
into
even
our
got
Nevers
there.
review.
We
We have
haven't
not
even got
discussed it yet.
We haven't got there
Okay. All right. Are we done with the news though? But the news was good because you learned some
Yeah, it
things.
was great.
See, we got to have some news.
Pluto is Ish and the Eternals. We're all gonna go see it.
All right. So now it's time for the no spoiler review. I don't have any music behind that one yet. Okay. So, what can we say about the Nevers that is not spoilery?
I can say it.
Okay, go ahead.
I can do this. The Nevers is a combination of X-Men, Buffy, Firefly, Doctor Who, all rolled into one big ass ball of story.
That sounds right. That's pretty accurate. I can't disagree with that assessment. This is like...
It's a period piece, and the costumes are wonderful. People look like they smell, so it feels really authentic. I'm sure they smell great, but they smell bad, and that's authentic. It's probably one of the better pilots I've ever seen. Like that first episode from the beginning to the end, that was well done.
Mm-hmm.
The diversity was everything. The language was everything. The people of color were everything. And the people looked like they smelled bad. That's how you know it was authentic. I was like, y'all look so grimy.
They did. They did.
But,
that is a...
But for a Victorian era steampunk show, there was a lot of light. Like you could see everything. The lighting was there. Unlike most other shows that take place during the Victorian era where everything is dark and dank in London.
The irregular. It's so dark. I can't do it.
That's why they make them. That's how they usually make it feel dirty. They don't light anything. This one was so authentically dirty because they lit it and you could see the dirt. Awesome. It was great. That part was good. Man.
Like in the first scene, when we meet one of the characters, she is an inventor, and you know she's been up working all night, and she's got some place to go, and she just kind of smells the jacket and just puts it on and rubs her face and does her hair and walks out the door. It's like, you stink.
You didn't do enough, ma'am. You didn't do enough.
That was insufficient.
You did not. You didn't rub no eucalyptus under that. You didn't do enough, sis.
No tussy musty and nothing. She just went out there like, I'm out.
It's like, you stink.
Out of frame.
Wow.
No.
It reminded me of the first episode of Homeland when old girl like didn't take a shower, and I was like, why is this a thing? Like, why are we just... Oh, this is a thing.
It's a shortcut.
It was too much.
This is the mindset of this character.
Or when
do a lot of building in 10
or when
seconds.
Patrick Swayze gets out the bed and in that movie where he did Dirty Dancing, and he gets out of bed, he done had sex 2 or 3 women, and he gets up and he just puts the sheets over his raw, naked crotch on.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
He's sexy about this. If he's a sex symbol, it's nothing sexy. It's wet in there. But anyway.
Showers.
Shower.
Showers are sexy.
Will Smith and I Robot, he took a shower, and guess what? It was a great scene. Do that.
Do that. Okay.
Do that.
Do it.
So
Do it.
So we've established that we have steampunk era, Victorian London, and something happens in the first episode, the pilot episode. We see this thing, we don't really know what it is, that goes through the city. Things fall from it like spores, like rainbow spores, and they touch people. And people have abilities the next day or immediately. I don't know. It's not really explained.
It's kind of hard to say. I don't know when they say it. Just
They don't tell us.
Nobody
But
before that.
Nope.
And does anybody actually remember it happening? Because it seems like
No.
They only show it in flashback in the last in the finale.
Right.
Exactly how it went down.
One
They
person
don't-
remembers. Only one.
Yeah, well, we're getting the spoiler-free review right now, so we're not going to say nothing.
So for
Correct.
spoiler free, I appreciated that they had a diversity in age ranges too. Though they have like some younger characters interacting significantly with older characters, and I don't think we get to see that very often. So I appreciated the age ranges that got to like flex and show their acting skill. That was nice.
Yeah. A diverse cast.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
everyone
is
is represented.
Majority women for
Right.
the cast? It feels like it is.
Yes.
It's close.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yes.
And it was beautiful. Like, it was beautifully shot. The CG was good. The fight scenes were really good. Like, those were some solid fight scenes happening. Spoiler, but we'll talk about my favorite one after the spoiler-free section. But one of the fight scenes, it's worth the whole. You could invest in all of it for that fight scene because it was magnificent.
That is
But yeah,
a
so
legendary
it
fight
was
scene.
beautiful, man.
But
Um,
if you're the
but
kind
yeah.
of person that needs to know everything that's going on, this show is going to make you mad.
Or confused. And just
They're
at the
gonna
very
make you
least
wait
confused.
for it. They're going to make you wait for it. You're like,
Yeah,
what is
after the
that?
first episode, I was like, I don't really know what's happening, but I like the costumes and I love the main character, the Irish girl from Outlander.
She can act. Woo! She did her
She's
thing
good.
that last episode.
She is
did her
really
thing.
good.
She did.
She
She's
did.
good. She's good.
I
She's
have
good. I like her.
I have a lot of comment about Outlander, whatever the show is.
I have no idea.
I have is a mostly dislike because it's lots of sexual trauma. Lots. It's a rapey kind of show. But her character was the one character that stood out, and I was like, "Oh, is she in this episode? Oh, I'm watching." Yeah, because it was a rapey show. Anyway,
That's how I felt about Game of Thrones. But anyways, we're gonna start.
don't watch Outlander.
It was so much trauma in Game of Thrones. Whatever your trauma is, it was an episode.
It was represented.
It was
It was represented.
The first
all
season,
traumas mattered. All
subsequent
traumas mattered.
seasons, it got better.
I couldn't get past the
Hashtag
first trauma, so I was like, I'm gonna tap out. Everything ain't for me. Everything ain't for me. I'm gonna go sit down.
Listen, all trauma, hashtag all trauma matters. That was Game of Thrones' position.
They served
in
it.
that first season, they gave you that. Like, if you get traumatized, take a pill. Keep watching. Come back Sunday.
So the only other thing about the Nevers is that the people that are touched are looked down upon by society now.
Are they looked down upon, or are people scared of them? I was never clear on that.
Bit of both.
I think it's both,
Yeah.
and it might depend upon your class.
I mean, we're doing X-Men.
Because
so
higher class,
it's a bit of
yeah, Yeah. Oh, the X-manishness of it all. Oh.
It very.
It's very much.
It was very X-manly. Oof.
I was like, who's got lightning powers? Go.
Okay, are we done with the spoiler-free version?
Yes, we are done because I got to talk about Stan Lee's estate and wonder where the lawsuits is coming. That's what I want.
Okay, so we're going to transition to spoilers. All right, spoilers ahead. You have been warned. Now,
Is
we
this
talk
Janine
about-
in the comments? I hope Janine is ready for spoilers.
Hey Janine. Okay, so are we going to talk about Joss before we talk about the show, or after we talk about the show?
It's impossible to watch this show and not see Joss Whedon.
It is not. So that's the thing. Are we talking about episodes 1 through 5 and then 6, or 1 through 6? That's my actual question. I need that answered so I know what to do.
That's fair.
Episode 6 was a whole ass new show. It was a whole nother thing.
It was a whole new show.
It took me 15 minutes to figure out, wait a minute, what show am I watching?
I turned it off and turned it back on. I said, I'm watching the wrong show.
Yeah.
So, but I think we kind of have to talk about them as, because I think that's the story. What happened in the last 10 minutes episode 5 and 6 is where we see Josh get kicked out of his story.
Right.
That he stole from Stan Lee and whoever wrote Doctor Who. And he stole from his own 2 shows, Firefly. And I told my brother, I said, it's a space odyssey with time travel and mutants and motherfucking ninjas. It's too much. And
I was like, what in the galactic Firefly am I watching right now? I was so confused.
It's very kitchen sink. It's very kitchen sink. So Joss Whedon wrote and ran this show in the beginning. And if you don't know who Joss Whedon is, the Joss Whedon universe, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly, Angel, Dollhouse, did some things with Marvel, took over the Justice League and messed it up.
Messed it up for the culture.
That was.
Wait, didn't he do one of the was it Spider-Man? Was he part of the Spidey universe?
I'm searching it now because I need to know.
He did Avengers and I think
The Avengers.
Ultron.
Yeah, those were Joss. He also did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. Mm-hmm.
Well, his family was more behind that one than him. He was right there at the start and then kicked out.
His family's been talking too. So this controversy goes back to 2002 on the 6th season of Buffy. This is a long of allegations against him. The season, so the controversy was season 6 of Buffy, and I don't know Buffy. I'm only going based off of Gabrielle Sanchez and her article that she wrote. But she said the season 6 hinged on women gaining their powers through trauma. And Buffy's female characters continually suffer as they grow or regain said abilities. So those were controversies that came up about the show. Then again, with Firefly, as much as I love Firefly, but I always wondered why she had to be a prostitute. And what's her name is she looks like a little girl.
Kaylee.
Not Kaylee. River.
Oh, okay.
River looks like a little girl. And she's the most powerful person probably in the universe. But she still has to be controlled by men. Because
That's his
She's
otherwise,
MO,
also
baby.
been
chaotic.
traumatized.
I mean, when your
And that's how
lens
she
is
got her.
misogyny, that's what you do.
Right.
And then
Then there
all
was
of Dollhouse. Everything about Dollhouse.
everything about Dollhouse.
Every single thing about Dollhouse
The core of the
is a
show.
male power fantasy over women.
Yes. Questions were raised about Dollhouse in 2009, glorifying sex trafficking. Dollhouse's characters were programmed to love and have sex with strangers for money. And it lasted 2 seasons until Fox pulled it.
I mean,
There
he's
was a
consistent.
lot of hard
He is
sci-fi in there
consistent.
that was way more interesting than all of the stuff he was exploring there. Which I don't know why you didn't lean in on that show instead of all the exploitation. And
There is a pattern. When you really look at
A
it,
pattern.
there's a pattern.
A pattern.
2015, Joss does a treatment of Wonder Woman and does the script. And hey, Emma. And it is leaked and then trashed. Wonder Woman in his script is completely over sexualized, depowered. Yeah, she's not even really Wonder Woman anymore. He stood behind it and said in a quote, I don't know which parts people didn't like, but I went and reread the script after I heard there was a backlash. I think it's great.
Of course you do, babe.
In 2017, his ex-wife, Kai Cole, wrote a blog.
Remember
The
that.
title was Joss Whedon is a hypocrite preaching feminist ideals. Because he's
She
known
went
for
in.
yeah, he's known for wearing t-shirts and touting the fact that he is a feminist because so many of his characters are strong women. Well, they're strong women. They have to go through so much. And then there's more to the list. James Marsters in July of 2020 said that he threw him up against a wall and was angry at him because he was gaining so much popularity. July 2020, same month, same year, Ray Fisher speaks out against the harassment and the racism that he faced on the set because of Joss Whedon and others. And then a few days after that, Sarah Michelle Gellar's stunt double came forward and said some things that he had said to her and her then boyfriend who were on the set. And then there was something else about
There was Charisma Carter.
Charisma Carpenter in
Charisma
2003.
Carpenter went in. She came back and retweeted about it last year as well. Her whole thing was he fired her because she got pregnant. That's why she was released from Angel, because he didn't want her to have a child. So he
asked her was she going to keep it.
And then fired her. He's a trash bag.
I mean, he gave us receipts, like invoices. He left invoices, just pages and pages.
Out here he was just out here being a white man. He was white manning. He was mayoing all over. He was spreading mayo all over the world. He didn't care. He was Joss Whedon. He was Hollywood royalty.
Right. And then in November,
not self-made. He is not self-made.
In November,
Cage.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just being petty for no reason. You talk. I said like Nicolas Cage. Like we wouldn't know if we wouldn't know Nicolas Cage if his people weren't Coppolas. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wouldn't know Josh if his folks wasn't famous.
No. And And so he leaves the Nevers in November of 2020 after having written most of it. And it's his story, his creation, but he steps away as showrunner and I think everything else except he directed one episode.
He directed episode 5.
And then there are more allegations after November 2020. Like they continue. There are more things coming out. So I bring
About
that
current
up.
work,
He is who
or-
he is.
Jeez.
I bring
What'd you
that
say,
up.
Marcus? I'm sorry.
I don't know what the new allegations, what time period they encompass. And
Oh.
honestly, I hadn't done a deep dive on all this because
Well,
Yeah.
Gal Gadot went back and said, things did happen on the set.
oh yeah,
And
it obviously
and what's
Justice League was horrible.
Aquaman? I can't believe it. Lisa Bonet's, but man, I can't think of his name.
Jason Momoa.
Jason, I said Lisa Bonet's husband.
That's all the respect he needs. Go ahead, put this.
I feel offended about Jason Momoa.
Are you,
That man was wet for an hour and 5 minutes. That was brilliant.
He
So offended.
then came back and said some things too. So after Ray, then there were more allegations from people on that set. And Ray is really the one that has kind of pushed this to the forefront because he's not letting it go. But I bring that up because all of that was in the back of my mind when I got excited about seeing the Nevers and then realized that, this is a Joss Whedon production.
and you can't really miss it. I mean, there are things in here that Joss actually does do well. If he would just stick to those lanes, he'd have been fine. It's like you have a large ensemble cast. You have lots of stuff going on. You've got some hard sci-fi happening. And that stuff is all interesting and well done. But then you have women being exploited all of the time. And you just like, there's more than one way to tell a story. But this is the one he wants to do. So I was entertained watching the show. But like, I'm only gonna get so excited about this because I don't know how it.
Were you
continue.
entertained 1 through 5 or 1 through 6? I'm going back to my original question.
So 1 through 5. Let's just focus on 1 through 5
All
because
right, let's do that. Let's start
is
there.
obviously its own thing. So 1 through 5. So we have the superpowered steampunk Victorians
Yes.
in Victorian era London. Something happens. There is a ship in the sky with glitter.
Looks like a space
It's a
whale.
spaceship, man. Call it a spaceship.
It's a space whale from She-Ra or something. It is like many different colors.
Space whale.
It's floating
space
through
whale.
the air without a care in the world.
It is a space whale.
Right.
That's the
Raining
that is
down.
the best way to describe it. Space whale.
It's like a
Rainbow
winged
particles.
tardigrade. It's like
It's
with
making,
glitter. And the
It's
glitter
making it rain
falls.
glitter all over London. That's what's happening.
Yes. And as the glitter hits people, they are touched and then they change.
Sort of. I mean, it's not.
They change on the inside.
Only the like. I don't know how tall is she. She's like 15 feet tall woman.
She's
Girl.
10 feet tall. She's 10 feet
Okay.
tall.
Nobody else is that visible. But yeah. Her
Well, there's
little
the one. He wasn't really a main character. There's the one young black man that's got like
spikes, but he can cover those with his sleeves, and you don't see him till way late.
And I just
didn't
thought
see him.
about-
I didn't notice him
Episode
till way late.
I
Yeah.
just thought about
mean-
the guy from X-Men that can throw his thing.
Oh,
Because he's an
But
X-Men.
Here's where stories always start to fall apart at the beginning. So You tell me the title is The Nevers. And then you spend the first 48 minutes talking about people being touched. And they were touched and touched and touched. Well, who the fuck are the Nevers? So excuse my friends, I've already got a block. I have a story block. You started wrong with me. I don't know what are you talking about. And then you're talking about the touch. And then you have the X and the Professor X Magneto visit the girl's house.
Yeah.
And who's the Nevers? This is where I was at top of episode 1.
Do we know who the Nevers are? Has that been a term that has been addressed?
That is not ever that I've seen
ever brought up.
It's never addressed.
No.
Okay.
I just called it the Irregulars the whole time. Like I literally renamed the show
That
The Irregulars, and it worked.
Whole different show.
But it worked.
Whole different show.
Look, all I know is they have a school for the kid that they've. It really is the X-Men mansion.
It is.
It just doesn't have a danger room.
So
unless you go in.
So Amalia True. Okay, let me pull it up.
All right.
Just for reference here. Okay, so our main character in red, played by Laura Donnelly, is Amalia True. She's the one that runs the orphanage. She's Professor Xavier. We
She's
learn.
Magneto.
Professor
Is
Xavier
she
wishes he
Magneto?
were that guy. She's closer to Magneto than Professor. She's running
Magneto.
Professor X's school, but as Magneto.
But exactly, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
She's running the school, but she's actually Magneto.
Yeah, the other girls got way more Professor X vibes. She trying to take care of the people.
Yeah.
She cared about their souls. She want people to die. She's like, I'm gonna save
true.
them.
I'm not sure
to make stuff to make their lives better. She tried to invent.
So the second character to the left, who's in the right behind Amalia, is what's her name? Prudence? No, Patience.
Mrs. Never? Just kidding. I don't know.
It's Penance. Penance. Her name is Penance.
It's a thing.
Yes.
Penance. Yep.
Penance. Because you make
Penance Never?
Penance. So Penance can see energy. She can see energy and she can manipulate energy. And so then therefore at the time she's playing with electricity like no one else is playing with electricity. This is where it gets all steampunk from.
Is she an engineer? I'm calling her an engineer in my mind.
Yeah.
I would say she's an engineer.
Okay.
And an inventor.
She's been touched, and it lets her make things 200 years out of time. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Because the umbrella was a taser.
Mm-hmm.
And they driving around in an automobile.
Backwards.
They got one. Everybody else has horses.
Backwards.
Yeah.
And no one looked bothered.
Nobody was bothered.
No.
Nobody was worried about this technology.
Nobody.
No.
They're like,
People
oh, that's neat.
afraid to put electricity and lamps in their homes, but they are okay with these cars. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and did we say what Amalia, what her ability is?
We did not reference her
Amalia. Oh, go ahead, Marcus.
She can see the future, sort of. Like, she gets like a cut scene of the future. Not exactly sure exactly when, and she doesn't have any control over when that comes or what it's about. She just here's a little preview of something that's going to happen to you that you can't change.
But is it that she can see the future, or is it that she's living outside of time? See, that's where the raggedness between 1 and 5 and 6 happens. Because we've been told for 5 of those she can see the future, but in 6 we learn She's actually living outside of time in somebody else's bidet.
Who knows
Okay.
what's happening?
It was giving me That's So Raven, and like you know how ravens,
Mm-hmm.
a little she can see the future, but it won't never helpful. Like it won't never helpful. You'd be like, that's what I thought was
It's
gonna
exactly
happen.
that.
Huh.
All right,
It
so
was
we have
that.
to add That's So Raven to the list of shows. This show is.
Wow, Carla, your list got
So-
long.
I mean, do I get a point for that? 'Cause that was
Wow.
pretty
You
smart.
do.
Like, it was
You
very
do. That was
That
actually
was no-
absolutely perfect. That is
That
exactly.
is genius. So now
That
it
is exactly her power.
It's Buffy, Doctor Who, Firefly, That's So Raven, and
X-Men.
X-Men.
Yes.
Okay, we've
It's
moved
all
to
those shows.
5 different shows.
Amalia
Yes, it's
True.
Quite a bargain, actually. It's very efficient to watch this show.
Because you're watching all of them.
In 1 hour, you get 5 shows.
The Amalia can also fight.
Because she
She's
was that
strong.
other broad in the future.
Is that a quirk? Is that a turn? Or is that just because that's how she is?
Well, we didn't know.
It's because there's ninjas in here too. There's ninja-ish. Oh, it's ninja overtone to the whole
She is
thing.
like a ninja. She's very strong. She can fight, and she likes to fight.
So it's a little Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as well, I guess.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is what I was gonna say. That's what I came off with to say. It was that. Mm-hmm.
Her fighting is
Yes, add that
at
to
least
the list,
bound
Marcus,
to
put it
her
on the
body.
list.
She's not.
If she can fly, if they
I don't know
would have
if
made
she's a
her fly when she was
superpowered
fighting,
fighter,
She's not a super powered fighter, but I think that
but she's really good.
I mean
she's fearless.
Oh,
the sound effects are amazing. So she's taken some hits based on the sound. And she also gets
Now-
beaten up and cut and
the
bloody.
most interesting thing about this show was the after show. These are how we did these scenes. That was truly way more interesting than watching the episodes. Like
I
when they
haven't
were
seen any of those.
They were really
Oh
good.
my-
About like the
Really good.
language, all that stuff was good.
I've been watching on the app, and the app it says stay tuned
Oh.
after to see the stuff, and then they never show you the stuff. I don't know what's up with
Oh.
their app, but it's very confusing. I don't get any extra. I have to go back and look and see if it's there, and it's just not showing it to me. But
Well,
yeah,
I
the
have
app's
to
been
see
so
the
wonky.
stuff.
When I started episode 6, I did pause it and go back. Like, did it start the right show?
I started the whole thing over again.
Hold
I
on, we're
kid
not
you
at 6 yet. We got to get
I know
through
we're
one
not
at a
there
time.
But I'm just saying, I watched 5 whole minutes of that 6th episode and went,
I'm at
So-
this is a whole different show. I don't
Okay,
because
so
I'm not doing this.
the chick in the wheelchair, I knew she was annoying. But the
Lavinia
dude in the
Bidlow.
brothel, he was just why? What was his value? Where did that story take us? Why was it important?
Okay,
You're
so
talking about Hugo
let's talk about
Swan.
Lavinia first.
All right.
So the people are touched, and it was 1896. So it's 1899
Nah.
now currently. So 3 years have passed that Amalia and Penance Amalia is running this orphanage that she's been given charge of by Lavinia Bidlow. Lavinia is the one in the wheelchair. She's wealthy. She funds the orphanage. We don't know what her purpose is because we think, oh, she's just doing this out of the kindness of her heart. And then
She giving nonprofit energy. Like I'm a use y'all and I'm a screw y'all. No,
What
she
does
give me
that
very much
mean?
nonprofit energy.
Explain what non-profit energy is. I'm very afraid.
No, I know
Carla,
exactly
did-
what that means.
Is that
She
her?
is not. That is so fair. She is there for the coinage and glory and to look good. She is not there for the nevers. She don't give a fork or 2 knives about the nevers or none of their problems. She's there for the glow up, that non-profit energy.
And I knew that when she had the party and she had them put on display and put the
Yes.
little ribbons on their shirts to identify them
That was
as one of
trash.
the touched. I was like, oh, okay, so she's just gonna parade little brown people in front of all the little white people,
Yeah.
like we on the stage, and these are the people that give you the money.
Nonprofit
So
energy. She
yeah.
was doing it.
yes,
Very
yes,
nonprofit.
yes.
She had a
I
point.
hate
to it.
Very
It's like,
501c3 ish.
the best way I can help y'all right now is make sure these rich people don't get y'all killed. So y'all gonna put on some little party tricks.
Okay, but like you don't check them, you let them take pictures behind that tall youngest person on the show
Right.
and like mock her. Nah, son, that was very nonprofit.
No,
She
it
knows
was
exactly what
funny.
she was doing.
The guy said, "Do we just stand here or do we go?" Ah! I mean, that was hilarious, but it was also wrong.
That was the point.
Yes.
Carla's with me. She know
Her
I'm accurate. She
character,
knows this is
her
very
character
accurate.
is
100%
willing to do these
accurate.
things, but we don't know to what ends. Like, she says it's to help them.
It
Right.
can't be good,
That
Marcus.
it ain't
Right.
the only reason.
No.
And she letting a lot of
Okay,
stuff go.
I have to ask a clarifying question. Were her and little creepy guy, I can't think of the actor's name. He's actually a comedian. That's
Well,
are
Her
they
brothers?
keepers of like are they keepers of the ship, of the whale ship? Do they know what this
Are you talking about the doctor?
energy is? No, I'm
Doctor-
talking about Lavinia and her and the dude she was in the scene.
the
with.
bird watching brother.
Yeah. Like, do they know what's good? Because
Oh,
after I saw
Augustus.
episode 6, yeah, I'm like,
Lavinia seems
I feel
to
like they
be
know what
very
it kind of happened.
interested in it, but I don't know that she knows what it is. And her brother has no clue about anything.
Does she know that her brother is touched?
No.
No, I don't
Seem
think she
like
does.
Okay, because he's one of the few men on the
I
show
mean-
that has been identified to be touched.
Not touched with superpowers, but touched in the Victorian sense. She's like,
But no, he does have powers.
Birds.
he
He's the
does.
birds.
But I'm saying that's not the touch that she thinks he is.
Oh, yeah, she thinks he's touched. Yes. And does not want him cavorting with the little girl who's touched.
AKA
I don't
nonprofit energy. Like
That's non-profit energy.
I can
It's
be
the
in
most-
charge.
Is it non-profit energy, or is that she's staff as well? It's like, she's
No,
not
this
your
is
state
real.
Same thing.
This is real 501c3-ish. Like,
staff.
if this was set in 1999, she would have a school and she would have funders. There would be
And
She
the
would
children
have
would be
a
singing a
hashtag
song on the stage.
yes.
Yes, they'd be dressed up,
Do, 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 do.
sing the song on the stage.
I mean,
Augustus is her brother. He does seem a little touched, special. He is an ornithologist,
He seemed basic, but
but he can control those birds. We don't know to what extent because he hides his ability. And you were talking about, Stephanie, Hugo Swan.
yeah, who I adore. So I'm like, yes, give me more of you, but why in this capacity? Like I don't understand.
so when you say you adore, do you mean the actor or the character?
Like the actor is a really good actor, and I was like, what is his role? What are you doing? Like I don't understand your purpose.
Isn't he the minister on Grantchester? He's like the
I like Grantchester, man. So I'm like,
Vicar?
what is this?
Yeah,
What
he's
is
like the
this?
vicar. He is pansexual. He is very posh,
I'm
And
here for all of
wealthy.
that.
and he owns a secret club that factors into this somehow. I don't know.
I didn't see him in episode 6, so I don't know.
I think he's trying to amass power in a very different way than all the other people who are fancy and rich. He's gonna have a relationship with the touched that have powers. that's going to be very different than the people trying to get rid of them.
Well, so far,
That's factual.
the relationship he seems to want to have is because he sees them as spectacle.
I think he's smarter than that. I think he knows that he could use them for real power. But I don't know if he's trying to get their trust, because he's just, paying people on the side, underneath. He's doing some real exploitative stuff. I don't know. He's shady.
The character has no value for me. I'm like, you added nothing to the story.
Oh, what's he
I have to I'm confess, I don't even know which one y'all are talking about.
The pretty boy that sleeps with everybody.
What section of the story am I? Have we moved from the Marvel phase to the Firefly phase? Like, where are we in the Buffy section? Like, where are we? That's where. Then I know where we are, because right now I don't. Know.
We're in the Game of Thrones section.
Oh, okay. I'm caught up.
Because he just seemed to have a lot of,
He's got dirt on the
extracurricular activities.
I don't know what he's got going on.
And just gets up and puts clothes on. Again.
No shower. He's like, drinks, bus, another club, another club, another club. He's a mess. He's a mess.
He has no shame.
Can we get a bidet in this? Can we get a wash basin in this? Like, there wasn't no wash basin.
A cup of water. Just splash it on your body.
So
the man has an agenda, and I don't know what it is beyond his own entertainment.
And based on the first 5 episodes, I don't even know if he's going to be a factor in the second part. Because I don't know.
I mean, like, if this wasn't on HBO, would his character exist?
I don't know. There's some random, like, one-off comment about how he's not his brother, which makes me think somehow this is important somewhere, but it's never important.
No, we never find out who his brother is.
Yeah, his brother is dead, so
there are so many balls
in
the air with this story.
About.
Yes, because then you have Lord Gilbert Masson, who always plays a bad guy in all the British dramas. And he is the wealthy English lord.
He's a lord. Mm-hmm.
That wants to rid society of the touched.
Through devious methods. He's like, if I have to, contrive the whole thing, I'll do it. But we got to get him out. And
right.
There
is an interesting scene where Amalia goes to him and asks him a straight up question. And he answers it straight up. If I were to do something, this is what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
All the nefarious. Just answer the question.
Okay, but when they called him at the club about the thing on fire, and he was just like, "Oh my god, that's so I can't." But wait, where are you? That was funny.
That was funny.
He was like, "Wait, where are you?" No, hold up. I must have heard you wrong. You're at where?
The best scene he was in the entire show. Every other scene he's in is not on the up and up. It's not straight. It's like, okay, he's telling you about things he's got going on.
Yeah.
He thinks he's the puppet master, and it's like,
he got played.
Who was the puppet? Who are
his
puppets?
whole arc is conventionally interesting.
I was
Raven, Buffy.
Yeah, it was Buffy. Buffy was the puppet. Was it Logan? Is what's name the puppet? Who was the puppet? I don't know. I was confused a lot.
I don't know. Because then there's a whole nother story with the detective. And the detective, what's the detective's name? The detective Frank Mundy, who seems like he just wants to, get rid of the Nevers too, but There's a reason why he's going after them. And he's also looking for the woman that he says he loves, but he really loves Hugo.
He loves Hugo. What? I never get there. What? What?
You didn't get that
I
part?
don't know that.
Marcus, you
He
get that
loves
part?
somebody. I don't know that it was Hugo, but I got that he. Let's just say, him breaking off that marriage was not as big a tragedy for him as is implied to everyone. I didn't
I
get
don't
that
know
he
if he's
had it specifically for
admitted
Hugo,
that
but
he loves
I
Hugo.
did get the idea that the character is gay. But also, the character is a cop and he doesn't like it. He is trying to solve a murder. Sort of. He kind of cares about that.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the character is hard to figure. I think he cares about justice in a broad sense.
In a broad sense.
He
Yeah, really.
he's
Just
obsessed.
good.
Character.
This what I got from it was he's obsessed with Mary because he likes Mary. Deep down he loves Mary, but as he don't want to be with Mary, he wants to be with Hugo. But that's not acceptable right now. And Mary knows that he.
I missed all that.
You missed that part.
It was,
You know that he and Hugo had a
kind of
relationship,
glossed over.
right?
Yeah, I missed that part too.
You missed that part. Oh yeah,
I
caught that
I
part.
have to just be honest. There was so much going on that didn't connect to anything. I missed a lot of parts. Because it didn't. Because the writers and the directors threw a ball in the air and they just left it. They didn't tie it to a rock. They didn't do anything with it. It was balls. It was balloons. They were just floating around like Chinese lanterns. These stories.
So there's lots of love triangles. So one is the detective, Mary, and Hugo.
Okay.
Like, I want to say I'm gonna go back and watch it so I can see it, but I don't care. So I'm not going to. But like, I'm gonna believe you.
You don't have to. And then there's Amalia and Dr. Horatio Cousins.
I have feelings about it now.
And his wife.
And everybody. Well, that's a whole different thing because Amalia is with everybody. She knocking them off. She taking notches out of people. So he got a wife and she has a town.
But like the relationship makes no sense.
Well, no, we learned in 6. See, this is why we got to talk about 6. I know you don't want to, but we have to talk about episode 6 because we learned that they bonded on the church early in the churches when she was sucked out of the now into the past when the Doctor Who moment. You can only get past the Doctor Who moment. You can't die. So she's oversexed because she was in a body that wasn't sexual when she was here. And now she's here and they bonded over being church. We learned that.
But like I felt like she pursued him because she saw in the future that she would pursue him, so she did it. But like there was no connection there. Like what? I was like, why? This whole man's married. We do not treat black women like this. Absolutely not.
I agree. I second that emotion.
It served no purpose for me.
And also, the big girl they had the big girl that we tried to give her some sexual identity just to give her, because now we trying to, we can oppress all size women. All misogyny.
Desiree Blodgett. Desiree. Desire.
I liked her character.
Desire. Wow. I mean, he was so creative with these names. Sorry, it's just.
Okay.
I mean, Malady.
Right, Malady.
I
Penance.
mean, there's not a lot of subtle storytelling going on here. There's just a lot of storylines. It's like, don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
Can
Who
we talk
who
about
are
the
the
pretty fight?
the pretty fight? The pretty fight in the water?
The water fight.
Okay, talk about the
That
water
was
fight.
amazing.
But then I also want to talk about the characters that I do actually like.
Okay.
I like them as, I like the actor or the actress and the ability that they have
But are
in
they
this
important
mess.
to the story? We gonna talk about them, but
in this mess.
But,
Okay,
like,
so the fight in the
characterization
water.
aside, I do like the Desiree character, actor, and the ability.
same.
She's a human truth.
I liked her ability.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Oh my God, she's
characterization
the little boy in the X-Men movie that made everybody not be mutants anymore. All she had to do was be in the room with them. Wow.
Like, tell me everything.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not. It's better if you're worked up. Like, really? Okay.
So at one point, the Beggar King. So the Beggar King is Declan Oren. He is basically a mob boss in London. He runs the crime scene. He's got this big guy that works for him. And Amalia is doing some things that the Beggar King, whatever. So he sends the big guy after Amalia, knocks her over in the
Thames
horse
River,
and
I
buggy.
think.
Okay, so you
Does
saying
he-
he sent her? Because I thought the lady in
But
the
he
wheelchair
didn't.
sent him.
She didn't. The other guy did.
The
But
Beggar
he made
King?
it look like it was the Beggar King. He made it look like it was Beggar King, but it wasn't him. It was
The rich guy?
yes.
Lord
His name
Gilbert.
escapes
Oh,
me
Masson.
yeah.
Because
Lord Masson.
Yeah.
Lord
Yeah,
Masson.
I'm like it wasn't that guy. He don't.
Yeah,
it
but-
was Master.
he
But
fight different.
he works for the Beggar King.
But that
Yes.
wasn't his mission.
Right.
That was
So
correct.
she's in the carriage and he knocks the carriage over and she's in the water.
That was brilliant.
Because
then-
he had my favorite power ability of all of them. You just walk on water?
He-
Like it's
He-
like
Let's
he
just
doesn't
let
just
Carla
walk
tell
on
the
water.
story. Go ahead.
no. I'll be quiet.
No, I want to hear it because it's the best part.
It's not just that he walks on water; he just can't be submerged in water.
Cannot
Period.
be submerged. And the Beggar King says something in another episode about him. He never takes a bath.
That's so weird.
Because he can't.
He can't get in the water.
He cannot
And
cannot be submerged in water.
Oh my God! It was just a brilliant fight that she had to like. He waits, so he stands on the water and waits for you to come up because you got to breathe at some point. And when you come up, he kicks you in the forehead. It's so, oh good. Okay, we're fine.
Just
It's the most
She's like, let me
passive-
figure out how I can win.
while I hold my breath. It's the most passive aggressive power of all the powers. Like you'll come to me and I will have
Right.
you. I'll beat you. But I don't have to fight the Just wait.
And then she
I'm
got
a
a
polar
chain.
bear.
She got a chain from somewhere.
his chain.
His
Well,
chain.
he had it.
He brought it.
But
Okay,
he was
so
trying
she
to
got
throw it down to get her, and she grabbed it.
right. She grabs it. She gets up on top of his shoulders, and then she goes backwards into the water, knowing that she will go into the water, and she's got the chain around his neck. Oh my God, that was great.
And he has no give. And if you haven't watched it, Marcus, I hope you get to watch it. The making of that scene. It is absolutely brilliant how they made that scene and the attention to detail that went into like, how do you walk? If you could walk on water and you couldn't go into it, what would your football fall be? You know, like, and it was like, they were like, oh, like kind of like mats, like gymnastic mats. That's kind of the same idea. So it's just brilliant.
Yeah, the entire time I was watching it, I'm like, how did they do this? And also, how is she
Green
gonna get out of this? This is
screen.
amazing. Oh, I'm sure.
And they said she was
I tried-
literally underwater. Like
Oh, yeah.
because what they said about just for the show, her stunts is that her stunt person would do her stunts and show her how to do them. And then she did all the takes.
Because, yeah, it's really hard to fake anything underwater. Stuff just doesn't look right, so you have to get underwater. And then you're trying to do a digital actor swap on top of that. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna look right.
Aquaman would tell you that you could do anything underwater.
I mean, are y'all going to be
I'm
sitting
not
on
gonna
the
have all
shoreline
this
singing a song
Aquaman
while
hate.
Jason Momoa goes out to sea?
Never.
I need to know now.
Never.
No, I don't think I'm going to be singing a song for Jason Momoa.
I mean,
I can't even remember his name.
that was honestly the weirdest part of that Justice League extended cut, and there were a lot of weird parts.
So, Joss Whedon aside, everyone else that is involved in this production, kudos, because that fight scene, I watched that fight scene 3 times. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what did I just see?
So can I get an honorable mention for fight scenes with the sister with the fire and the person with the little disc? I said, y'all better do it. That's my honorable mention.
The one that makes metal.
Oh God, her name is
The one
Annie
with Magneto.
Carby. Her name is Annie Carby, like carbon. Oh my Jesus! It just gets worse. But yes, her name is Annie.
I feel like you just got it. Like you.
I did. I've never paid attention to their names before. I knew Amalia, and that was about it. I wasn't paying attention to anybody else's name, except Malady, who we didn't talk about. Malady, but Annie controls the fire, and I don't have a name for the person that does the discs. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, Nimble. Mm-hmm. They didn't give him any.
Yeah, they had that really good fight in the alley. They had the really good fight in the alley, and he used
their scene was great
to get away from her.
It was mad androgynous.
It was, yeah. And she is dressed beautifully. They dressed her beautifully.
The best.
Oh my God.
She didn't look like she smelled either.
Not really.
Oh no. She bathed every day. She bathed every day.
Butters.
So we have Annie that controls fire. Dr. Haig is the sadistic doctor that is cutting into people's heads, trying to figure out where they got their powers from. And we don't know what he's doing with Lavinia Bidlow.
No good.
Dr. Horatio Cousins, our cousin from the West Indies.
Cousin Rachel.
Our cousin from the West Indies, who is a doctor. And he is also touched. And he has a healing ability.
And he's married. Keep going. Mm-hmm.
With children, yes. They had cute costumes. I saw that part. Let's see. Lucy Best is the older woman that works with Amalia, who later we find out is not so nice. She's not doing her best.
You can't trust none of these hoes.
Primrose is 10 feet tall. She just wants to be a normal girl. Myrtle Hapslich. I actually like Myrtle because she be speaking in tongues. She was just speaking in tongues. They thought she was a devil, or she had the devil in her. She just speaks different languages.
All at the same time, which is hilarious.
Yes, which is hilarious because she does factor in later with Mary, who is it Mary sings the song. Myrtle understands the words.
Yep.
And who deciphers the words?
Everybody.
The one who got
Usual
trampled on in
people.
episode 5.
Her name's Harriet.
The
Oh,
girl that can use the
East Indian
ice
girl.
power.
Yeah, she
Girl
does.
that can-
She actually turns things to glass.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yes,
she
which is
organized
why-
a whole room of people of all cultures to figure out what the heck this girl is saying.
Right. Harriet, who wants to be a lawyer, but she can blow on anything and turn it to glass. Because when she was
Right.
blowing
Now-
on the grapes because she was angry,
They were turned clear, so and then
she was dropping them. And Penance comes back and says, you know you got to clean it up, right?
You gotta clean up them shards.
It looked like ice to me.
Well,
It was
I
glass.
thought it was ice too. Okay.
It's glass.
Because if it was ice, you wouldn't have to really clean it up. It wouldn't be that big a deal.
Because at the
Just stick it to
end,
the side.
when she gets trapped and she turns the wall, she turns it into glass. And when she falls through, that's how she gets all cut.
Oh, okay.
that then they trample.
I
it
thought
in
she
the
was
face.
just caught up because
Yeah,
the people were running over her.
Trifling.
they do that as well.
So you
So,
mentioned.
okay. I'm sorry. No,
you go, Carla.
No, I was gonna ask about. So it was said that the songstress that was like the machine that Professor X could use to identify all the mutants.
Cerebro,
Mary.
yes. Continue.
Mary is Cerebro, yes.
So why did she have to die like that? Like I
Oh,
missed something. I must have dozed off.
what you
He was
missed
just
was
trying to
Joss Whedon at the
identify-
top of the episode writes things. So
Oh,
people that
okay.
you
Thank
would
you.
rather not die. For no-
Thanks for
for
clearing
no
that up
reason.
for me. Thanks for clearing that up for me.
Trying to be like
'Cause I-
George R. R. Martin.
I couldn't understand why she had to die. Like she was peacefully singing the song and calling the
singing.
church.
It was a
Oh.
wild scene, though.
Did Amalia see that already? Because she
She was
mentioned
out there trying to
before.
fight underwater, so she missed that. She missed it.
Yeah,
She was
she did.
underwater.
She missed a few
I'm just
things.
saying, did she see that in the vision and then just not tell anybody?
Did Raven ever see anything that was helpful? Ever one time? Ever one
not
time.
Not in any episode I ever watched.
Raven's home. That's a raise. Neither house was helpful. No.
So the only other character that we haven't talked about is Malady, who is a serial killer. She's like a female Jack the Ripper, sort of.
What's her like? What is her thing though?
I don't
What's
know.
her power?
I don't know what her power is. All I know is so what we do know is that she was being put in an insane asylum by her husband when she got touched. And she's the only person that remembers seeing the spaceship that we now know are from the Galanthi people. She's the only one that remembers seeing it.
So they think she crazy.
Yes,
But you see,
but
she's
might
a
also
twin.
be crazy.
but you see that the whole thing in episode 5 was she was a twin and it wasn't her that died, it was her that died. And then we find out in the new season, episode 6, that somebody else was snatched back to 1896 with Amalia. They say that when she has that stream of visions,
Mhm.
that's one of the things that was revealed. That somebody else, too, is from the modern era, but in this time. And I think that's who it is.
You think it's Amalia, or you think it's Malady?
Malady. The malady that lived after the hanging.
Mm.
So I'm gonna say I don't
Twins, or
care.
They just couldn't tell people apart.
Hey, were they twins?
I
I
think
don't know if
that
they-
was.
No, it
I
wasn't.
think they were twins.
It wasn't
That
a
was
twin
definitely-
energy. It wasn't a twin energy. Because if you think about episode 6, they say that when Molly died and when she was committing suicide, that was a breach when this thing happened for her to switch bodies with this
I mean,
energy. And I
that
think,
was-
and then you see Maldy actually went ahead when they were trying to save her. She was like, "No, I want to die." I think that was this other energy, and that's who's running around now in her body.
I thought it was that other person in her crew that had cut off all her toes. She was really
That one they were
out
like,
there.
she was trying to mess with the girl who could sing, and she was like really wild, and they were like, "Yo, you can't kill her. Stop playing with your food." And she was like, "Okay." I thought it was her.
Yeah, I thought it was her too. Because they
I
showed
thought it was somebody
the malady that was
completely
hanging didn't have her toes.
Again, I don't
know
care.
what was-
But I just
the show is bananas, okay? They don't try
It
to
makes no
explain
sense.
anything.
It makes no sense.
They're just like, keep watching it. We'll explain the thing we talked about in
Right.
episode 2 and episode 8. It's fine.
So everything from episode 1 to episode 5 is happening in Victorian England. All of these things.
that's all we know.
Malady being hung for killing people, Mary connecting with all the touched, Amalia and all the people that are touched. Everything is happening in Victorian England. And then episode 6 comes.
And it's in a dystopian, bombed out future.
From the very beginning. Like there was the preview like the last time. And then it goes right into this show. And I was like, pausing it, like, what is this? Did I click on something different?
I turned it off. Like I was on HBO Max. I was on HBO Max, and I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. I was trying to make my little lunch. So I turned it off, and I go get my Roku, and I'm like, let me just turn on my DVR. Then I'm turn that on. I was like, it's the same old mess. What is this? Then I'm like,
And we're talking about the vilifowls and the vegans and the fungus. We're using all this language that they had never, like, they didn't give me any of this in 5 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. And we are the chosen caucuses and the bodies and the. I'm like, what is this? What are you talking about?
blah, 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 tomato. It didn't make any sense. It was just dumb.
It made no sense. I was so confused.
So at
And I
some
was
point in the future, this older woman named Zephyr is
Which we don't find out till way later.
is playing dead. And this crew of people come up and they're killing these other people, but we don't know who any of these people are. It's a dystopian future. We don't have
And
any
they're also
idea.
dirty.
That's the only thing that they have in common. And they go inside this facility.
It's also Matrix. Continue.
They're inside
It's
this
not.
facility, and Zephyr wants these drugs. Like that seemed to be the only thing she wanted was the drugs. And there's this other character that looks like Harriet. So
Looks
for a
like her.
while, I thought, is that Harriet?
Mm-hmm.
But nope, she's just another East Indian woman. And there's this war that we don't know anything about. And then there's these aliens.
There's a purple people
It's a war
here.
with the machine. It's the Matrix. We start episode 6 in the Matrix.
It's
You just broke Jade. Jade is now broken. You just broke Jade. You can't take it more.
because I'm thinking about the purple people eater, the purple alien thing, the Galanthi.
Had we heard the word
in,
Galanthi in 5 episodes?
Yes,
No.
but
Yes.
never.
When?
I feel
Amalia
like
talks about them from time
Right.
to time,
yeah,
but never really, like, it's never a plot point that makes sense. You just think she's saying some gibberish. You're like, what? What are you
right.
talking
Because we know that she says that she has something she's supposed to do. She has a mission.
And she was left behind, and like from what?
Right.
By who?
But she
You think
doesn't
it's
know
like her
what
family
the
or something. But
mission
no,
is.
she's not talking about her family leaving her in this city. She's talking about the future leaving her in this weirdness.
Right.
After
Trapped in
sis drank some Kool-Aid, took the red pill or the blue pill, I don't know which pill she took,
She took
but
both
she
of them.
ended up in 1896 in the body of the woman that was committing suicide because she couldn't handle the baby.
Yes.
She
So
picked the wrong man. She picked the wrong man. That
she
was
did.
a bad.
Oh my
that was
God.
not. That was not a good match she made. Mm-mm.
I don't
So
know.
You
He
let
cared
that
about
broad
his mom.
talk
That's
you out.
it.
You
so
let that
Did
broad
he?
talk you out of that man.
He
that loves
sort
you.
of. He kept her around.
the
He
the
wanted to make
baker
sure
lady.
she was good.
She told her,
Yeah.
"You don't want to be with him because he doesn't have any money." And then the baker lady's like, "Well, you should have gone with him. You are not helpful."
Could have strangled her myself.
Oh yeah, she was problematic. AF.
So the real Amalia True works for a bakery as a baker, and she makes these delicious tarts and different things that the baker just does bread. So she could have her own patisserie. And there's a man that likes her but doesn't have anything. And she should have just gone with him, but she went with the man that owned the bakery or worked at the bakery. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what.
It
Did
was
he have
his bakery.
anything?
It was his bakery. She married him,
Gross.
and that was a loveless marriage. And she kept having miscarriages, and she was taking care of his elderly mother. And then he dies,
And they were broke.
and they were broke. And then the man she really liked ended up making a lot of money, and then getting married, and invited her to the wedding,
Oh, and having kids.
No, she's a baby
invited
shower.
her to
Something.
the baby shower.
the baby
Where
shower.
the baker broad with her ridiculous,
Declined on her
unhelpful
behalf.
self says, "Well, you know, a barren woman is bad luck at these gatherings. I declined on your behalf." So sis jumped basically. So
Yes.
sis got was a little tired.
So she's walking in an alley, which is the first thing that we see her do in the first episode. She's walking one direction, and then she quickly turns around and walks the other direction, and then jumps into the Thames. And we think that she just comes out touched, but actually Amalia died, and Zephyr was transferred into her body.
So what was that movie?
Mhm.
It was
Ghost.
no.
Um,
They steal like Emilio Estevez from the past and bring him into the future.
wait a minute. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise
No.
and
Sliders, Gliders. It was something like that.
No. I'm trying to think. I just saw it. It
repeat.
was like Free Jack. I think it was Free Jack. Was the name of it. They stole his body from the moment he died.
I was
He
like,
was in a
don't
car
tell
wreck.
mom the baker's dead. The whole thing was wild. It was
That was
wild.
Free Jack. That's what it was called.
So
Nobody saw this movie. That's fine.
from that point on, we go back to Victorian
Back to this.
England, and Amalia, who is Zephyr, is telling the people closest to her who she is.
Did she tell anybody besides the doctor and Penance?
I don't think so.
Because I don't think anybody else can handle it. I mean, like, what are you going to tell them?
I mean, they already crossing a really big threshold of not getting strung up like witches anyway.
I'm waiting for the cutscene to show us where they tried it and just got pushed back because, people had abilities. You're like, you know what? Fine. You can be outcasts. We'll stop trying to kill you.
30 minutes into episode 6, I stopped caring. Like, I was like, I don't care what happens. I have to fold these clothes. And so I did that, and I just did it. But okay, so I say that I didn't care about the content anymore. But Zephyr acted her whole behind off. It was magical. I didn't care what she was saying. I was like, "You're falling backwards. I don't know. I don't know. This is happening now, girl. Just go somewhere, sit down." But she did a great job.
Yeah.
But I'm over the story. I'm like, I don't.
I really
Return.
cannot see another season of this. I don't know what could happen to piece this together into one coherent and cohesive story. I don't know what storyline you would even stay on to try to hold this thing together. Because it is, like Marcus said a while ago, it is literally 20 stories. It is 20 storylines in the air, just hanging. And none of it is connected to anything.
I mean, I'll put it this way. The first 5 episodes gave you one story. It gave you lots of parts of one story, and now episode 6 is like, which parts of that story matter at all? I don't know. But
because they got rid of it.
I knew something was really weird when the space whale went through at the end of episode 1. I'm like, what is that? Because that belongs in an entirely different show. I don't know what that is, and I kept waiting for it to come back, and it didn't come back. Then episode 6 gave you the weirdest explanation for what that was, and now I'm just okay. Y'all spent a lot of money making a lot of sets on a very different show.
So is episode 6 the way that the show is going to go because they're moving away from Joss Whedon stories?
Probably.
Oh, I think it was always there. Yeah, because that space whale thing at the beginning was so out of place and so weird. I think they always planned this turn, and the entire show was leading up to this.
I hope not.
I don't know where they're going with this,
Carla?
but it's really the same trick he pulled in Dollhouse. They're trying to tell you the show is one thing, and then the show is an entirely different thing. But it was there from the beginning if you knew it was. When you go back on the rewatch, it's there.
I honestly think that yes, it's there, but I don't think that was its intended purpose. I think that at some point they figured out they have to move away from anything that feels Josh-ish to and then they just zigged instead of zagging. Like they just went this way with it. And that's why episode 6 just feels so different. It feels like a whole new show. Because even though I didn't like the first 5 episodes, I understood I thought I saw where they were trying to go with it. I thought I was gonna just get a really bad X-Men movie. It's fine. It's okay. You know, everybody steals. But but this was a really bad Matrix episode 6. And so I'm like,
And it would have been one thing if it was really good. If it was a really good, hard sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, turn, then that would have been like, okay, all right, I'm still with you. But it wasn't good.
They would have been dropping breadcrumbs this whole time with some of these terms and the language and the apocalypse walk through Cycloplan, and here we are with the shilly bang and the trigger pools. And now we're lost as a people. What?
The problem is there are very few breadcrumbs to pay off this turn, and so all the steampunk comes from Penance, except the thugs that are kidnapping the girls who don't have a face, and they're like all electricity and whatever underneath.
But we don't see them anymore.
We don't know where they came from, but they're out of place. So I'm wondering if those are from the future, or if
Y'all done broke
what
Jade.
is happening with them?
Because I forgot about them.
Oh, you forgot about them?
I did
They
too.
were in the first
But
episode.
they were in
and
the first
then-
episode.
The Headless Horseman. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, we don't see them again.
They showed back up towards the end. Yeah,
The last episode.
The last 2 or 3 episodes are there. Because
I hate to do this,
Amalia
fam.
fights one and kills one.
Remember how in Lovecraft that one time they went to a different country? That episode was so different and it was a departure, but it was beautiful and brilliant. This was not that.
That was
This was not
snow
that.
falling on cedars. Yes.
This was not that.
And it was beautiful and brilliant because they had gave us the breadcrumbs. We were not shocked that that story happened. When it showed up, it made sense. It was like an explanation. It was backstory. This ain't no. It's just some. I'm telling you, they're talking about this world that they're in the future now, wherever they were, with this language that what were they saying?
The Galanthi, and they feed people and they hang them and they die, but that's not how they kill people. And a tomato. I'm done.
Did you say tomato?
There was a tomato. There's a whole
I'm like,
garden. But
what?
the hanging people were not to feed the Galanthi, they were to torture the Galanthi. Because the Galanthi liked those people.
But who hung them?
The other side of the war they're fighting.
Did they come through the
I don't
portal?
Who are they?
No, I don't know.
You
I can't tell
see,
you.
that's a problem. When you have 4
They're trying
people
to.
that are watching
It's
the
an
show,
entirely new story.
and we don't know who's fighting who.
that
And who
is
was
in
the
there,
man
they're
that was
putting right
tied
over the
up
top.
and he was a captive? He was
Yeah,
captive.
that was.
But then he got free and then he shot somebody. And then he
Yeah.
got shot.
There were 2 sides to that. There were 2 different factions of people, and that guy was a prisoner at first.
And none of them had ever had tomatoes.
He turned his guard somehow. There was a lot happening in episode 6. And you really just had to put the first 5 episodes aside and deal with episode 6's
I would have
whole
liked
thing
it
all on its
better.
own.
I would have liked it better if they just had characters that were in the show be the people that were in episode 6, but they all had different names and they weren't the same people at all. I would have liked that better.
Well, that would have tied something together. That would have,
There was-
even though I don't know it would have worked, but we could say, oh, all these people ended up in the past from the present, and this is a multi-layered war. This is an intergalactic thing. Like, but no, none of this was connected to anything.
None of it. Did we need to know Amalia's body backstory? That helped in no way, shape, or form.
My hands are so small. I never had boobs.
Well,
That
you just have to know
when
that
you've
the
been
character
snapped out of
existed.
your reality into another body, who said that? To the doctor
I
you
don't-
just met, who healed you with his hands.
You must have
So-
a magic whatever. Mhm.
Okay, so if you were to rate this series, well, it's not even the full series. This is the first half of season 1.
Is we doing 1 through 5 or we doing 1 through 6? It's the same question. I'm gonna keep asking it, Jay. 1 through 5 or 1 through 6?
It's your preference. You can give 2 scores or 1. Start with Carla.
On a scale of what? What is our
1 to
top?
5.
I
1 to
give
5.
this a strong 2. Nope, I'm gonna change it. I give 1 through 6, and I'm doing the whole thing. A strong 3 on the soul beauty of the because it was beautiful. It was shot beautifully. It looked beautiful. The costumes were beautiful, and the fight choreography was great. And that's the reason I could get through any of this. A strong 3.
3. Okay. Marcus?
This is a weird one because the actors are good, the set design is good, the costumes are good. It's giving me many of the things I love, but then it's just like the story is bananas. The writing is uneven,
Say
schizophrenic.
it. Say it, Marcus.
Come on, say it.
I'm just giving it. I'm 3.5. I will watch more of it, but I'm kind of annoyed. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre show that I like being surprised, but I want you to earn it. And this one is not earning it. It's just throwing everything at the wall. It's just throwing stuff at you.
You want it to make sense, Marcus.
I do want it to make sense.
Taking us for granted?
It's consistent, but nonsensical. None of the things that they've done has, like, completely been out of bounds. They haven't just invalidated something they've done earlier. They've just made it all very weird.
Stephanie?
Nonsensical is the actual best word to describe this experience that I've had. If we weren't going to have this call, I wouldn't have finished episode 6 because I was like, I don't care. No. I was like,
checked out.
I didn't know what I was watching. Like, I was just like, but
I mean, I think that's a fair reaction because that's what they were going for. They wanted you to be like, am I watching the same show? What happened to the show I was watching? Where are the pretty costumes?
Yeah, I couldn't. So I'm rating 1 through 5, and I'm giving 1 through 5 a 4.
Okay.
The costumes, the actual talent on the screen was magnificent. The woman-centered, non-white only centered characters were great. They was fly. I'm gonna give episode 6 a 1 because I didn't know what I was watching. It was like 9 other shows on HBO. I was like, am I watching the one where they're in a different world? So does this show with the robots? I was so confused. I thought something was wrong with me.
Score, but if we add the score, you give it a 3.
Thank you. That's the perspective I needed today. So, like, I'm giving them a 3, but I want to front load 1 through 5 was great. I want to name that, and then just say if you just stopped at like Fig Malady dying, the show could have just ended there. We could have been fine.
I mean, why are the character names True and Adair? The writing is lazy. That's why.
Jade, what scores do you give this fine show?
Okay. So I give episodes 1 through 5 a solid 4. I'm a sucker for steampunk. I love everything about the Victorian era. The dresses and the costumes are great. I love the main character because I like that actress and she brings it. The other characters, the characters of color, they come for it. I love the girl with the fire. I want to see more of her. I was so glad that she turned and she went with the good people. Then there's episode 6. And the first half of episode 6, I give a 1 because I didn't know what was going on. And in the second half of episode 6, I can kind of get with because it gave you all the story about Amalia and where she came from and who she was. So I appreciated that. But it's coming in the last, 20 minutes? So I gave it a 2. So I have 3 scores. 4, 1, and 2.
Let me do your average. Hopefully.
It's 2.33. 3.
4 4, 2, and 1.
Four, and then for one episode, it's a 1 and then a 2.
It's not going to be a weighted average. This is going to just be the average.
How are you gonna weight that
How about
average?
this?
Because it's
How
like,
about it's still a solid 3? So, still a solid 3. How about that?
So, is it enough for you? Are you going to watch the second half?
Huh.
I'm not.
Okay. So,
I'm
okay.
not. I'll
Marcus.
watch y'all talk about it.
I will. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not-
I will.
I'm not going back.
I want to see the girl with the fire. I want to see how they resolve these two storylines together. If they're even gonna try. I mean, I want to know.
I'm
about
sure I would
space
enjoy.
whales.
And who knows? It might be really good. We'll tell you.
I will
wanna
enjoy
see-
Marcus
Yeah.
and Jay talking about this more than I will enjoy
Yeah.
the show. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do
I
that.
want to see
that's-
Lord
That's what I'm
Fussbucket,
doing.
who thinks he's controlling everything, find out that he's not. That's what I really want to see. It's like, oh, you paid people to do your bidding? They don't care. They're space whales. Deal with that. Nobody's coming for you specifically.
People are space whales.
All right. Well, that is the end of our review. Of the Nevers.
The Irregulars.
The Irregulars. The Irregulars is a completely different.
What
Kind of
does
news.
nevers mean?
This was the never
What
explained
does it
plot.
mean?
Never a clue.
Never going to tell you.
Never gonna get it.
Never gonna finish a storyline.
Never connecting the dots. Listen, this is what we've got.
None of those things.
None of it happened.
All right. Well,
I think
Carla,
that
what you
you
got
and
going
Marcus
on?
got something to. I just want to say I'm glad I had enough characters to hold on to and understood enough to keep watching. I'm too slow for this. What do I have going on? You can get to me on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and the Twitters. It's all Carla Stillwell everywhere, or you can check out the page Newsreel with Carla Stillwell all over the grams and things as well.
Marcus.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Waterbear Games and at Marcus Ross. I'm still doing game design things. I'm also working on a personal project, a modern art project. So I'm still looking for acrylic and oil painters. So just reach out to me on Twitter if it's something you're interested in.
All right. Stephanie.
Y'all about to find me in bed in about 5 minutes. I'm tired.
Ooh, okay.
It's late on the
Are you
East
gonna-
Coast. Mama's sleepy. Mama's sleepy.
All right. So
Are you
next
gonna draw
week,
bath first?
Of course.
we're doing the Invincible, or the Invincible. You know, Invincible. It's just Invincible. Who's seen Invincible?
I'm not.
Marcus.
I just saw a
Oh,
TikTok that blew my mind about it though, so now I've got like feelings.
Oh, Carla, it was.
So I should watch this week.
You should.
Okay,
It's a-
I'll do it
It's a
for you
double.
guys.
Yeah. And then June 7th, we're going to have the Young League. So the Young League is going to talk about what they're watching and what they're playing this summer, what they're excited about.
Jay,
And
can I
then-
tell them what I did
What you do?
when I watched Mortal Kombat?
Oh. Yes.
Marcus, Carla. So I was watching Mortal Kombat for the young people because I care. And I thought they might like it, and I kept waiting for them to like show their colors and whatnot. Those are the Power Rangers, and I was watching totally the wrong movie, and it was fine. I was like, "Where are the colors?" Like, whole different movie.
Out of
That-
frame. Out of frame. I am done with you.
In a
Yeah.
very similar way, I was
Ma'am.
watching Mortal Kombat, waiting for it to start.
The first 7 minutes were amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so then June 14th, we start reviewing Loki. So we start talking about Loki. And we're going to start talking about the Underground Railroad on Amazon Prime on our Twitch channel at a later date during the week. So be looking out for when we go live on Twitch. My mother is really loud. The door is closed. I don't know what she's doing. I have no idea. All I know is she's almost 90 and she's just getting out of pocket. Okay, so her birthday is the end of the week. Okay. So that's it for today.
You are needed elsewhere, I can tell.
You said what?
You are needed elsewhere. You can get off this.
Mom is into shenanigans.
She is talking to somebody and it's loud. I don't know what is being said. I don't know what's going on, but she like little hands. Anyway, so we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day. Okay, that's not the right thing.
I don't hear the music.
I have too many
There's
things.
supposed to be music.
We're still live.
I know. I know. All right, we know you love us.
If it is-